Hello, sweet beans, and welcome to episode 14 of Polysaturated. We are going to talk about dating today. Dating. I am here with
Zan
and
Grow.
And I'm Jay, and we hope that we can bring you some insight or even comedic relief as we delve into the dating realm.
Probably more comedic relief, because it can be pretty funny.
We are
dating.
poignant. We have salient points.
Me.
Yeah. We have salient points and cogent things to say.
Salient and poignant.
Somebody's got a dictionary.
Oh, let me get my thesaurus.
Yeah, somebody's breaking out a thesaurus already early today. And
A cut rate thesaurus.
So, you know what we need to get them for?
Not off the dollar racket, books a million.
We need to get them like a word of the day.
I have a word of the day app on my phone. Oh, I also have what is it? It's the grandiloquent word of the day app. It is amazing.
What the fuck is that word? Grandiloquent. I think you're
thought
making
it
shit up now.
Grand delinquent.
Grandiloquent?
Yeah.
No, it's not delinquent.
I thought it was.
Whatever.
I'm
Anyway.
dyslexic. Okay.
Okay, let's focus, guys.
Yes, focusing.
Okay, so before we get started, we would like to apologize for getting in a late episode. Our son had turned 18, and he had a birthday / sword ceremony, which is a whole
Huzzah!
thing in itself. And
We had a lot of family in,
oh god, have we?
and it was awesome.
It was awesome.
But we were really busy and
Swamped.
And
we weren't
everybody
even-
fit at our new house.
hooray!
And on top of that, Jay and I had also celebrated our 20th anniversary. So we
Yep.
had that.
That's just crazy.
20 years with Zan.
I
Whoa.
apologize now. We
Yeah.
already went over apology languages.
This is a nomination for sainthood
It's been
episode.
great.
Yeah, it probably is. She would get her sainthood, but
She's got
I
at least
can't
2
disagree with
miracles.
that.
She's had 6 miracles.
None
None of them are card tricks.
Sex miracles or six? What?
6. I was counting like all of us and you.
Oh.
So 6 miracles.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Awkward silence.
Yeah.
So another thing, one of our listeners got engaged.
Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
He is a friend of mine, and he went down to our hometown area, New Orleans, and got engaged. So congratulations, Ben.
Congratulations, Ben.
Congratulations.
And I'm sorry that you're friends with Zan.
Yes.
I can't argue with that either. So.
Zan is awesome, and so are you.
Yeah.
And we love you. Love from us. And
Yep, from the polysaturated family.
Yay.
Hooray.
Dating. How do we want to get started with this? Because dating could be fun, and it could also be a nightmare. We're also going to talk about one of the poly members being mono. Because Jay and I, for the longest time, Jay was doing the dating, and I was not. And that was by choice.
Yep. Kind of.
Kind of. Well, yeah, that's true. It was kind of by choice. But honestly, okay, so the way it happened with us, Jay had expressed interest in dating a woman. And so I was totally fine with that. And at the time, I was going through some things, and I really didn't feel like dating. I didn't have the self-esteem to do that for the most part. I didn't have a problem with Jay dating. And for me, it was I had a bigger problem with me dating because I just was not in a mental state to do that. And Jay kind of felt a little weird about me seeking a woman outside of our relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes in relationships it works out that one person may have the capacity and wherewithal to be open to the other person seeking outside relationships, and the other one may not. And so, it ends up being that one person is mono and the other is poly, but ultimately, to me, that is still a poly situation.
Still a polycule.
Yeah, because there's no escaping once you've allowed your other partner to seek other partners, then you're still poly.
You're
Right.
poly.
Even if you're choosing not to partake in said polyness.
Right. You're still poly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to say that to the people who are in a situation where you're poly, your partner is poly, and one of you is dating a person who is monogamous. that person is technically poly, kind of by proxy, but they are, because they're involved in this. And there is no escaping the fact that there are more people involved in that person's life than just they themselves.
Right. It's still poly by association, you know.
Proxy. I like the way I said it.
Poly by proxy.
Yeah, so this was early on in our poly adventures. Jay...
Well, was it...
Well, it was harder for me because back then we had very little resources, and, you know, you grow and change and heal and realize things about yourself if you're progressing at all as a human being, in my opinion. Maybe not so humble, but in my opinion. So back then, not currently, back then, it was my belief that it would have been easier for me to accept if he were interested in dating men, because that was something that our relationship lacked for him, you know, that, and so he couldn't be a woman for me and I couldn't be a man for him. But
Isn't
the
there
fact...
a song about that? I can never be your woman.
Yeah.
I'm every woman.
No.
That's me. But
I'll play all your positions.
ooh. And so I was a bit insecure, and it made me question, well, why does he need another woman? He already has all of the woman that he should need in me, you know, that, and it came from a limited mindset and system. And once we progressed, it was actually at the poly meetup. I held on to that belief, although it changed over time, and it kind of allowed for different things, but it was very specific and unfairly kind of controlled by me, which I realize now wasn't fair. And like I said, we grow and change, and we evolve into better people. And so I even withheld dating for a long time because it didn't feel fair to me. I want other people to experience your love, and no matter who it is. And I was kind of like, things progressed over the years. And he did date, but I was also afraid that he was going to meet someone that wasn't going to value him the way he needed to, or was going to treat him poorly or badly. He has the whole white knight complex. He really, truly does, even still to this day. And so back then, I really was like on the defense for him, and I didn't feel confident, I guess.
Well, that fear was not entirely unfounded. I mean, that technically did happen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Even with us in this situation, I would have to say he wasn't valued the way he should have been.
Right.
So,
well, it's one of those things where if I see and feel somebody hurting, I try to help, and that can usually get me in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I know women. Like I said, that's how I felt in the past. My beliefs have changed, and my confidence in his abilities to make decisions for himself, because he's his own damn person, you know, like
whoa.
That.
Well, at least somebody does. I'm not really confident in my decisions because I choose poorly sometimes.
It's weird, these things that we're programmed into behaving like. That's how I was raised into feeling and believing. I think a lot of people can relate to that too. Like I said, it's not that way anymore. Yeah, we grow and change, and we've dated, and it's hard when the one person isn't dating anyone, though, and you are, because then your time is split between someone else or someone's else if there's multiple, and then your mono partner is sitting around waiting if they haven't found ways to occupy or entertain themselves without you being there.
So for the most part, I didn't have a problem with it. Again, I was having some serious self-esteem issues, and honestly, I was antisocial for a bit. I was not really wanting to be around people and kind of wanting to be by myself and do my things, and so it helped. It was a little difficult at times, but at the same time, I was enjoying time doing my own thing. So, and it wasn't that bad.
But that's a quick message to those people who are mono and dating a poly person, or you are poly but just haven't found anybody or whatever, and you're left with somebody else's time is being pulled by another. Think about all those things that you always wanted to do. Go and do those things.
Right.
Do those things. Those things that bring out the real you. Instead of just staring at the clock on the wall, when are they going to be back from their date? When are they going to be back from their date? What's happening? Why am I not being left in the loop? Eventually, you're going to find yourself that you're the one that doesn't have as much time as you'd like.
I was alone. I was all by myself.
No one was looking.
I was thinking of you.
I was all by myself.
So what about you, Crow? I know you've had some experience with monopoly dating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have been kind of into an enforced monogamy with somebody who wasn't, and it was rough at first because I hadn't come across that advice of just, hey, why don't you do the things that are important to you during those times? It was so much better when I started doing that. When I started saying, hey, I can do this. I get to do this because I'm all by myself. I get to do... so, there I was, poly in theory, with no significant other outside of my original... we're still,
OC.
to this day... Yeah, my OC.
Original couple.
I don't even like that because every couple is an original couple.
Well, some people are not original. They try to be other people.
New and improved.
Right. You see, we get lost in verbiage, and if there's anybody who can come up with a great term for how this works, like instead of saying primary, because even words like primary and original and all of those things lend to a certain amount of higher in the hierarchy. And
I'm the OG.
We're very equalist here. So we like it, everybody's got a full share in this stake. Everybody's put their lives together. We're all in this together. So not everybody's like that. So if you like the hierarchy, by all means. But if anybody has a non-hierarchical word to describe the next relationship, we would love to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Or the relationship that came later.
Right.
Than the other relationships like that.
So
yeah.
If you can give us verbiage, please do that. We would love to hear it.
Yeah.
And we will give you a shout out.
I'll
and
add
a sticker.
it to my polycabulary.
Polycabulary.
Oh,
look at that.
Man, there she goes. Patent that. That is patent pending. You
Polycabulary.
Anyway.
TMJ.
So other guy that X was dating was monogamous, considered himself monogamous, and I had to actually tell him because he and I were friends. And no, you're poly. You're in this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but
but he was also trying to be monogamous with X, and trying to get her to leave you
by report.
Right. Oh, okay.
But I only have her word for that, which
may or may not be.
Yeah. So stuff. Things can get complicated and things can get wonky, and it's very, very important that whoever you're dating, whatever you're dating, and whatever the circumstances are, whatever your polycule looks like, to look after yourself. Look after your relationships, look after yourself, and if you find toxicity in the others or in you, it's got to come up. Communicate. Take a sip.
Yep.
Coffee. Coffee.
It is coffee today.
It is
Yeah,
coffee
yes.
Yes.
Most of the time, actually. That's...
Yeah.
Yep.
99% of the time is coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that glorious 1% of the time. Anyway. So yeah, for years, there I was, poly in theory only, and bi in a hetero relationship. So really, I was by myself.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be a joke. Come on.
But it's still sad.
It was funny because X was telling me at the time that I shouldn't even be thinking about dating. I should just be monogamous to her.
Of course.
Yeah, because that wasn't a warning sign right there. That
Right.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the actual dating.
The date of the actual dating?
The date of the date.
Where do you go?
That's all,
yeah.
folks. Ways to meet people, poly people. So, the dating part of this episode, Jay has had a little more experience dating than I did. And Crow, have you had a lot of experience dating?
Until recently, the experiences haven't been all that great.
Yeah. Well,
there's things to consider when you're dating. Is the other person out? Are you out?
Mm-hmm.
And going to your favorite places and showing this new person your favorite places and having the staff go, "Oh,
welcome back.
Hi." Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Yeah. No, we found